You have something inside you, a lesson you learned the hard way. You know you should share it, but you hold it back. You wait, hoping a day will come when you finally feel ready. There was a monk named Biren who understood this feeling well. He was older than most of his fellow students. His life before the monastery had been a compounding series of losses, a trade that collapsed, a wife who passed away, and a son he raised alone who eventually left home. Walking through those brutal seasons gave him something the younger monks lacked. He knew what it felt like to watch everything fall apart and still find a way to put one foot in front of the other. He carried a quiet strength born entirely from survival. Books and lectures can teach philosophy, but enduring total loss builds an entirely different reservoir of wisdom. Biren carried lessons that simply could not be found in any text. In the evenings, the younger monks would instinctively gather around him. They could sense the depth of his experience, and they would ask him questions, hoping for guidance. But Biren answered very few of them. He looked at his past and saw only a pile of mistakes. In his mind, a man who had gotten so many things wrong in life was entirely unqualified to teach anyone else. He would watch a young student struggle with an emotional burden he had already survived, and he would keep his mouth shut. The stories, the specific warnings, the comfort he could have offered, he locked it all behind his teeth. Waiting to become a perfect person before you share what you know doesn't protect anyone. It just deprives the people around you of the very tools they need to survive. One morning, the old master recognized what Biren was doing. He took him out to the monastery's orchard, walking past trees heavy with the season's yield. They stopped at a single branch, bending deeply toward the earth. On it hung a dark, heavy fruit, well past ripe, pulling at the stem with its own water and weight. As they watched, the stem snapped. The tree didn't try to hold it. It dropped, hit the dirt, split open, and scattered its seeds. The master asked Biren to consider the alternative. If that fruit never fell, it would just rot on the branch. The seeds would be trapped inside, forever separated from the ground. A new tree cannot be born while the fruit remains safely attached to the branch. The creation of new life requires the messy, uncontrolled act of letting go. The master sat on a stone wall and turned to his student. The lessons Biren carried, the pain, the grief, the years of hard-won knowledge, those were his fruit, and they were heavy. By constantly telling himself he wasn't worthy or ready to teach, Biren was artificially holding the branch up. He was fighting the natural urge to release what he had grown. When you keep a lesson locked inside you for too long, it doesn't age into something better. It metabolizes into toxic regret. The weight just becomes harder to carry. A piece of fruit doesn't fall because it's flawless. It falls because it is full. Readiness is dictated by the depth of your lived experience, not your personal perfection. The only way those experiences have value is if you share them. Do it while they are still alive, while the seeds inside them still have the vitality to spark growth in someone else's mind. The master offered one final thought. Look at the tree. It doesn't choose where the fruit lands. It doesn't carefully aim the seeds. Its only biological function is to release the weight. What happens next is entirely up to the soil. The ground dictates which seeds take root, which ones sprout, and which ones wash away. Biren didn't need to perfectly curate every piece of advice he gave. He just needed to open his hand. He needed to offer the truth of his experience and step back. Some of those lessons would help the younger monks, and some wouldn't. But hoarding them on the branch guaranteed a 0% chance of doing any good. Biren stayed near the orchard long after the master left. He looked at the broken fruit on the ground, the seeds pressing into the dirt. The tree exhibited absolutely no struggle in letting it go. That evening, as the monks gathered, a young student quietly approached Biren. He asked a specific question about losing something he loved. For the first time, Biren didn't bite his tongue. He opened his mouth, abandoned his hesitation, and told the boy exactly what it felt like to survive. What is the lesson inside you that you've been holding back? Your painful, imperfect experiences hold immense value for others. Share what you carry. Someone out there needs the seeds.